Hi guys, Mrs. Hawes here for another exciting lesson in our Comanche virtual art room, right? Well, it's raining outside because this is Easter and we can't really, make art in a great outdoors. So we're going to do it inside here in my daughter's room. We're going to do stained glass. And if you had picked on this video, you would have seen the pictures of some Tiffany stained glass that they mentioned in the video. And you have probably watched a little 1-minute video about where stained glass became stained glass. If you go to a church a lot, you probably notice inside the churches they have lots of windows that are stained glass. And the history of that goes back to a monk a long time ago, a religious kind of a fella. So we're going to do this fun stained glass picture today. I did 2 different styles. They look really quite cool on the windows. It's that style. That one's a little bit easier. This style takes a little more challenge to cut out the holes, but don't those stained glass are made butterflies? Don't they look really kind of cool to do? And so here's what you need for these materials, and it's pretty simple. If you have black paper, that would really work the best because it really does pop out. It can be just a normal, like a copy machine type of paper. Black would be the best if you had black. The next thing you need is something to draw with. I'll use a white or gray or whatever light crayon to help see if you're doing on black. If you're doing it in pencil, that's okay. You just need your scissors, right? Scissors. You need actually liquid glue. Probably works best than glue stick, but if you've got a glue stick, go for it, right? And then all that Christmas stuff that you get in a birthday package, all that tissue paper. If you want to do it this way, then you could use some wax paper. That was the easier way, wax paper. If you don't have wax paper, you just glue those tissue papers together. So I'm going to turn the video down onto our surface, our art surface, and here we go. So the first thing you're going to do with your black paper is you're going to fold it in half. You're going to fold it in half. If you don't have black, again, that's quite all right. That is quite all right. Don't use it if you don't have it. Use white or brown color. Anything will work. It's the popping it against this backdrop of a light that makes the stained glass window. Now, you don't have any stained glass windows here in this room, but if I could take my video out to my house, I have a lot of stained glass windows hanging in front of my windows. So they're like a picture frame of stained glass that my mom gave me. And in the video that you watch, they talk about Tiffany, which is how American stained glass came about. I have a couple of Tiffany lamps in my house too, so it's kind of cool. Well, last time I did a butterfly, so I guess I can show you how to do a butterfly if that will work for you. So I take on my fold part. I started on my fold. This is the fold line. This is the open like my taco, right? That's where I put my cheese, right? That's where I put my cheese. So I'm going to draw on the fold, and I draw a smiley face. Guess I go like that, see? Smiley face. I'll go this way, see if I can do it upside down. Okay, and then I'm going to draw out towards my cheese. There's my cheese. I'm drawing out towards my cheese. I'm going to come in. I'm going to draw back out towards my cheese. I'm going to come back towards the fold. I go up and out like a half circle. So we're making a symmetrical piece of artwork, but even though we're doing half, once we cut it out, it's going to be symmetrically equal. And that's kind of a concept for today, symmetrical. And then, of course, the culture of stained glass. Now, here's the two-parters of it. If you want to do it the stained glass way where you do this, then you're going to follow where you just cut along the outside edge and then glue a piece of wax paper in there. Or you could do it this way where you actually cut holes. This is a harder version. This is the easier version. This one's the easier version. So I am going to show you the easier version. You just cut it out. Very quickly cut it out. Okay, cut it very quickly out. I don't want to waste your time on my video, right? Cut it out. I feel like I'm doing it upside down. I'll turn it right back upside, right? There you go. Cut it out. Okay. Now, if you're going to do the easy version, there you have it cut out, right? Now all you have to do is cut a big fat line along the outside edge. If I draw it, I would draw another line around there, but I am just going to cut right along my line, but not cutting it out. So I'm just kind of cutting right along my line and cutting it out. See if I did it right. I feel like I did that wrong. But maybe I didn't. Let's see what happens. Voila! And there is my butterfly. And that's where you would then take a piece of wax paper glue it on. Glue it on. So I would glue this wax paper on. Glue that wax paper on, right? And then I'd cut out my extras. I'm going really fast for you. And this is where I'd flip it over after I glued it on, and I'd cut off all that extra, right? All that extra wax paper. I'd cut that off so it doesn't show on the outside. Okay, that's what I would do all the way around the edge. I cut that wax paper off. And then all you would have to do is take tissue. I'm not going to waste all your time, but then once I have the wax paper all cut off, then I would take my varieties of tissue paper and I would cut up little chunks and glue them onto the wax paper. Glue little chunks onto the wax paper. And then if you could see very carefully on my done example, not quite done, but there I cut my wax paper, I glued it on, and then I just literally glued the tissue paper. And when you hold it up to the window, when you hold it up or hang it up on a window, it looks like a stained glass. Now, if you're doing it the other way, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to show you the other way. If you're going to do the more challenging way, you again fold it. You create your butterfly. Let me think before I get you going too fast. Out, in, out, up, semicircle. And see, once you're cutting it symmetrically, it looks pretty cool. Now, once I cut it, first cut's the easy part. The first cut's the easy part. The second cut is the more challenging, the higher level. Okay, the second part's a little more challenging. That's the first part, right? Okay. The second part, if you're doing the more difficult one, is instead of just going along the outside edge again, you just take parts and you kind of fold it and you cut a little shape out. Kind of like, have you ever made a snowflake at the winter time where you fold it and you cut it and you fold it and you cut it? That's what that is. You kind of cut out little shapes. You can't cut along the edge or you'll cut it up, but you cut little shapes out. And when you have all of them that you like, then all you have to do is take your tissue paper and you kind of glue it to the back. And then when you hold that one up, it gets to be really quite cool. Are you ready to go make a nice stained glass window? I will see you soon. Bye-bye, my Comanche artist. Have fun.